Electrocast.
Last week on Ghost Hampton, Flo had the Fearcom van and Silk, Lyle's new obsession, ready. Silk is tantalizing to Lyle, but suddenly leaves. Driving to Montauk, Flo explains how big TV works. Lyle is the meat. He then has a seizure as they pass the site of his crash, and Flo saves Lyle. At the police station, Georgie confronts the sergeant who's harassing her and meets with Chief Quealy.
Southampton detective Georgie Hall is on her cell phone behind the wheel of an unmarked surveillance car, following a contentious meeting with Chief Quealy. She's speaking with Sergeant Frank Bossati, her secret boyfriend. Big Frank is older and more experienced. Georgie has the degree from John Jay in forensic psychology. On the passenger side floor to her right, a ghost balloon made from a condom leers up at her. She's sure the prank was the work of Swanson, the soon-to-retire desk sergeant she calls Swansong.
You have evidence?
I have Swansong's effing fingerprints on my locker door.
On the, balloon?
So Quealy says. Did a shitty job. I got lots of prints. They're with forensics now.
Swanson cleaned up your locker door?
He left the tape on my door. I lifted prints from Scotch tape.
What if they're residual prints from his cleanup?
Listen, Frank. It was Swansong. And he put this thing in my car while I was having my chat in Quealy's office, sending me a message.
A message that he's a putt.
And needs to retire soon and make room for someone who wants to do police work.
He's padding hours. Idle hands, huh? Want me to have a word with him?
No, Frank. Thanks, but no. I need to handle this myself. Just had to vent.
Okay. So Quealy wants you to take a leave of absence to babysit your dad?
Quealy wants me to commit career suicide.
Any idea why? I mean, you and Lyle are very different people.
Don't know why exactly. But he wants my father to butt out of the Old Vic haunted house business.
I'll take a look at some of the public records for Old Vic. Ownership of the property seems to be interesting.
Because it was a brothel.
Could be. So your dad left town, you know.
Georgie sighs deeply and puts her free hand on her brow.
Where to?
Headed east. Probably Montauk.
With his driver?
No, ma'am. In a black van with some young people. Van was marked Fearcom.
Are you shitting me?
Never. I looked them up. They do paranormal videos for a website.
Oh my God, like I don't have enough on my plate. I'm trying to do my job too.
I noticed. I'm going to check on Lyle's exact whereabouts, see what these people are up to.
Georgie does not respond. Frank only hears a moan over the phone.
A phone call to your dad might be in order.
Oh, God! Ugh.
The Fearcom van stops in front of the Memory Motel, and Lyle peers out the window at the place, essentially a bar with a motel attached. Lyle is still bleary-eyed from reliving his car crash back in Bridgehampton, then coming to in the arms of Flo Hendricks. He dozed while they blew past Gurney's Inn, Lyle's pricey favorite. Seeing the Memory Motel now conjures fragmented flashbacks from his time as a habitué of Montauk nightlife. The middle-aged man who'd get jolly at the bar and buy everyone around. Montauk is nicknamed the End due to its position on the tip of Long Island's South Fork. The funky town, increasingly jammed with Manhattanites in recent summers, reverts in autumn to the fishing village it had been for over 200 years. For Lyle, Montauk and its night spot served as a last resort. The residents of Tony, East Hampton, and his hometown Bridgehampton had Lyle's number and made him uncomfortable when he went out at night. But in Montauk establishments, folks mostly knew him as a genial guy. Sure, he'd appear out there to forget some things, and the locals didn't care. However, the Memory Motel bar did harbor some embarrassing recollections.
What a dump. I want to stay at Gurney's.
Lyle, you're part of a team now. We work and stay together. This won't be forever.
Well, where's Silk? At Gurney's?
She'll be staying right here, too.
In the bridal suite.
As Lyle processes mental images of Silk in a bridal suite, Chad, the driver, remotely opens the van's door. It sure ain't Gurney's. Flo and Josh exit the van first.
Chad, help me get him out.
Chad complies and Lyle gingerly steps down to the crumbly asphalt while Flo and Chad steady him. Josh quickly readies his Nikon, faces Lyle and focuses for a close-up.
Josh, you have the camera ready?
I do, if you get out of the way.
Flo and Chad stand Lyle straight, the van behind him. Flo removes the blazer Lyle had worn to his court appearance, and she and Chad each cradle one of his elbows. Chad clicks the van door closed, displaying the Fearcom logo. Following his harrowing near-death experience by the Bridgehampton Monument, Lyle is still unsteady and nearly as disheveled as he was when Mose Allen took his picture behind Old Vic. Just the way they wanted.
What's all this now?
We need proprietary photos of you for use in the media, promos, and your television spots.
I need to clean up first.
Not for this.
You want me to look my worst?
We do. Looking distraught is what people want. Give the people what they want, and we win.
Josh shoots away while Lyle complains.
There are already enough pictures of me looking like a madman.
Moe's paper won't give us the rights to his shots.
Somehow I'm glad. So you're actually wanting me standing by your van with two people holding me up?
You will be cut out from today's shots and pasted into new background photos I took of Old Vic.
How did they turn out?
Fine. I captured the house from imposing angles and got images with and without demonstrators.
Do you have a title screen ready for air?
Can people stop asking me questions and let me work?
Josh finishes shooting Lyle.
Okay. Think I have enough.
People, I have room assignments and keys for everybody. Staff meeting, my room, half an hour. Chad, show Lyle to his room.
Wait, I don't have my personal effects.
I've arranged with your driver to collect your meds and necessities from home and bring them here.
Lyle, still out of sorts, swipes his elbow away from Chad as they make their way to the row of parking lot hugging ground floor motel rooms. Josh is alone with Flo by the van.
Flo, I am not staying with Chad.
You are. In a double room.
That's still with Chad.
Sorry he's not a gorgeous paranormal reporter.
Josh makes his patented smirk and pats his camera away. Flo's room, half an hour later. Lyle's in the only chair. The two young men are seated on her bed. Flo stands before them, going on about schedules and shooting things called vignettes and interstitials to augment the real meat of their televised package. Silk interviewing Lyle. Josh is cameraman, director and graphics creator rolled into one. How a young person gets ahead in television today. The talk is fairly techy, and Lyle, hungry and growing disgruntled, tunes it out. After what seems like forever, Flo sets the time for the first video shoot in the bar. 4 p.m. as autumnal golden hour approaches. Then she dismisses the young men and is alone with Lyle.
Where is Silk?
Can you stop asking? She's coming.
Lyle slouches in the chair.
Listen, Lyle, I know none of this can be easy for you, so I have a surprise.
Lyle peers up at Flo warily.
Is Silk going to burst out of a cake?
It's not your birthday. Better than that. Chad is driving you to Gurney's for a pre-taping meal.
Flo accompanies Lyle to the Fearcom van. Chad is behind the wheel.
Why do I feel like a prisoner getting his last meal?
Because you are clairvoyant.
Chad has steered the van out onto Montauk Highway and pointed it toward Gurney's Inn, Lyle's happy place. Flo is in the van with him. Apparently, she'll be joining him there.
So, how long have you known Silk?
2 going on 3 years. I was a content provider to Fearcom early on. As my premonitions proved reliably correct, they started taking me on the road with their rising star Silk.
You cover other hauntings?
It makes good television. Old churches, castles, cemeteries, a closed asylum for the insane.
The insane make good television?
Their stories do. You, Lyle, can top all that. Your failure in court actually helps.
Taking that as a compliment. So, how reliably correct are you?
Extremely. You'll now ask me about Silk for the 1000th time.
What is her deal?
She's a star. A band has its lead singer, a TV series has its central character.
So you're a supporting character?
Yes, but not like Phyllis from The Office as you keep thinking.
Are you Silk's brain?
No, Lyle. You'll see. She's got the whole drill under control.
Silk will interview me on camera.
Yes, as threatened. It's okay if you spruce up at Gurney's for the shoot. You'll look shell-shocked enough in Josh's still images and graphics.
What's his deal?
Young production talent who wears many hats and wants to direct feature films someday.
So he's slumming with us meantime.
Your words, not mine.
Chad applies the brakes, and the van silently halts under Gurney's portico. The side panel slides open effortlessly.
Circle back in an hour, Chad.
Flo catches a look from Lyle.
Make that 90 minutes, Chad.
Will that leave us enough time back on set?
Yes, you're going to work with Josh to make sure everything, sound, lighting, electrical, is in foolproof working order.
Right. So, that old Irish bartender, he's being a pain in my butt.
Oh, give him some 20s out of petty cash.
Flo exits the van and Lyle gets himself onto the pavement unaided. He's already perking up with a commanding view of a shimmering Atlantic just beyond the inn's entrance. He and Flo both inhale the invigorating salty air.
I get why you like this place.
There's more. A lot more.
Flo isn't surprised when the maitre d' makes a fuss over Lyle. Apparently, he behaved well enough and tipped well enough in this nice setting to ingratiate himself over the years. Lyle talks Flo into enduring a visit to the spa, a half hour at the most, to spruce up. She cautiously agrees to wait at the bar with a Perrier and work her iPad. After a time, Lyle emerges from Gurney's spa and approaches the bar. He's transformed. Clean, beard-trimmed, hair neatly styled. He's had work done.
My, you clean up well.
It takes a village.
The only question is his apparel.
What are you wearing?
Gurney's leisure wear ensemble.
I don't know the network will allow the prominent logo on the sweatshirt, free advertising and all. And what color is that?
The only color they had in my size. Peach. It's called leisure wear.
Television will make it look like pink. And if it looks like a sweatshirt, it is a sweatshirt.
Well, I threw out my old clothes. I'd be wearing them for 2 days.
Gurney's Sea Grill is not busy at this hour, and the staff treats Lyle and his colleague like royalty. That's due to his status as a returning regular and his newfound notoriety. The maitre d' appears and seats the two at a table overlooking the ocean as afternoon sunshine pours in. Lyle looks at Flo. She's close to him in age, kind of white and doughy, like she comes from a world where people never discovered exercise or the outdoors. Flo should not wear lavender sweaters that show a lot of upper arm. Her small eyeglasses and tinted schoolmom hairdo still remind him of that lady from the Office sitcom. This inspires Flo to push her business card across the table toward him.
Lyle, you see where my card says that I'm clairvoyant? Among other things, it means I can often tell what people are thinking.
Lyle feels a weird chill despite the warm surroundings. She read him.
Right. Sorry.
Apology accepted. What's good here?
Everything, if you like seafood.
A glass of white wine arrives for Lyle as if by magic. Flo doesn't know everything. She frowns at the alcohol and takes a moment to appraise Lyle Hall.
So, you've been experiencing your own moments of clairvoyance?
I have moments. What exactly is clairvoyance? Like one step beyond?
In a way, if you are consciously embracing the spirit world, if you are perceiving things beyond the natural range of the senses. In the early stages, your perception may be intermittent, only brief flashes of understanding. You may want to turn it on and turn it off, but you cannot find the switch.
How about turn it off and leave it off? I don't want to perceive every feeling everyone ever has.
True, your mind would explode.
It's already blowing.
Sorry to hear it. Tell me about last night inside Old Vic. You and your priest friend broke in? Looks like you had a rough time, based on the photos.
Okay.
Hi, it's me, Flo. Remember me from Ghost Hampton, the podcast? I was secretly in love with Lyle Hall. Well, now I'm dead and loving it. But let's talk about you. If you loved listening to Ghost Hampton, you can now spend the summer in the Hamptons. The original episodes are back, and now new episodes will be dropping every Friday. I may drop in too, just to make Lyle feel guilty. Ghost Hampton, the podcast, is now streaming everywhere.